I'm feeling a little uneasy, shall I say. I try not to take what I watch from these reality shows too hard and too bad. But I could not get this last episode out of my mind. This OG and Evelyn thing is really bothering me in ways that I didn't expect, because this is obviously a TV show, right? This is obviously, storylines that are placed on top of each other and then given a little bit of reality, right? But there is a real issue going on in TV right now and TV production, because I've been watching Salt Lake City, New Jersey, with Teresa. I've been watching Real Housewives of Atlanta. And all of these shows are in some way demonstrating some very weird things that I've never seen from these productions. This pandemic isn't making it any better. But anyway, let me get to these notes. I'm all over the place. So the ladies get to the house to basically get away, let their hair down, due to all what's going on in the country with the pandemic. I guess production decided to do something a little bit scaled back, something that's not too much, but let's just rent a mansion. Yeah, so they rent this mansion. Evelyn talks to Phoebe, and she basically counsels coming because she feels like she's possibly been exposed to COVID. So Evelyn wishes her well, of course, and then OG talks to Jackie in the next scene, basically confirming that no one has reached out to her since the last filming production from the last season, and how much it bothers her that no one has acknowledged, what's going on in the group and the energy and the weird shifts and people just siding with people, just, I guess, to save face or save their job. So OG was discussing all this with Jackie, and I think Jennifer was in this scene as well. So Jennifer speaks out basically and says no one is being held accountable in this group, and it's kind of getting irritating at this point, because as a viewer, as a fan, you have to, I get it, it has to be entertaining, but there has to be, I would feel, some type of rule and regulation, because this narrative is so real. This narrative is real. Don't want to go too far yet. But, so Jackie then, at this point, when Jennifer and Jackie was talking, Jackie, by the way, I'm obsessed with her. I love her to death. So then she comes out of nowhere and she's like, well, I'm going to go, I'm going to eventually invite the girls over, and, I'm going to go over there and see what they doing, see what they up to, see what they cooking, and just, I don't want to be no separation just because we got two different houses. So Jackie, of course, is stirring the pot. I mean, you wouldn't have TV if you wouldn't have Jackie. You wouldn't have a reality if you didn't have her personality on these television shows and these episodes. So Jackie is just stirring the pot at this point, and it ruffled Jennifer's feathers, because she was just feeling like, okay, if we have separate houses, why can't we keep this how this is and just not deal with these other girls? But Jennifer, this is not how it goes. This is how it's set up. Get into it. So then they get into it, and everyone agrees that OG was wrong for her thoughts in the other house. So while they're showing us this one film and this one scene with Jennifer, Jackie, and OG, in the other house, they're all talking about it, saying like they don't get it, and what is she talking about, and why is she feeling these ways, and how could she feel these ways? I'm the same skin tone. And literally, that's where my notes stopped. So this is my opinion, and my notes stopped halfway in this episode, because from there it got to be a little too personal for me. Wow, who is this calling me? I don't answer to no caller ID. Oh, actually, let me turn this on silent, because I do not want this to be interrupted. I kept watching, but I kept closing my eyes. I kept watching, I was like, This episode is giving me anxiety. Evelyn and OG are never going to be friends for many reasons. OG strongly feels that from her experience that she have witnessed racism. She have witnessed colorism. And I don't think Malaysia, and surprisingly I would say Malaysia, because Malaysia is like a real down-to-earth chick. I love her to death. But in this situation with this current, and I know if you don't like someone, you just don't like someone, and you may not think they're attractive. So they may just think OG is ugly and not attractive, and she's vulgar and wild and crazy as hell, and they don't want to do with her. But then the other side of this makes me think this is very interesting. And I say that because it's okay for Evelyn for years to do all of the stuff she's done, jumping over tables, throwing glasses, and pulling people's hair and calling people out of their name and just humiliating them on national television. Like, Evelyn has did this for years. OG hasn't even touched a soul on this television show. And everyone is offended and scared and feels she's aggressive. So then I have to ask myself, you know, as I was watching this current episode, why is this going on? Where is the stoplight? Where are the production people at? Like, where? I don't get it. I feel like OG is out here alone because the people I thought would have her back, Malaysia being dark-skinned, well, brown-skinned, Christian being dark brown, dark-skinned, they all have like this same color, but it's like slightly different shades. But Christian and Malaysia are the closest to OG's complexion. So it's so interesting to me that this episode showed that they were not even understanding her perspective. And clearly, I am not dark-skinned. I'm lighter skinned, but I'm not dark skinned. But I am black. I can even relate to what OG's story is or how she feels about the way they have treated her. Being a dark-skinned woman in a all light-skinned cast mostly, I felt like I seen this coming from a mile away. When OG got on this show, I think 2 years ago, I said, they gonna rip this girl apart. They gonna start calling this girl all type of names. They're gonna make her feel away and it's gonna escalate. I said this when I first watched this show with OG appearing, and here we are. That very first scene when OG was sitting with Malaysia and OG's hair was pushed back. She had on this crazy ass dress, this crazy makeup. OG, you did look crazy as hell in that episode. It was like one of your first episodes. And Evelyn was sitting there. I remember Evelyn looking at OG a certain way that I've seen before. I've seen that look of another race looking at a black person like that. I have seen that exact look. So when Evelyn says that she posted that monkey, that meme, and she had nothing to do with the control of what popped up, that is a lie. And number two, if you did see that gorilla pop up, a wild ass gorilla as an emoji, and you knew you were talking about a dark-skinned black woman and from Africa at that, you didn't think twice in your head that this could potentially be spinned as racism, as bitch, we need to fucking find you. You didn't think about that? Yeah, you didn't care. You wanted a shock factor. You wanted to let everybody know that you that bitch. You're the OG of Basketball Wives. And that's the problem that I have with Evelyn, is that you made it clear that OG is not the one. That OG should have never been on this show. That OG doesn't qualify to sit at the same table that you sit at. You have made it clear that how she looks, whether it's her nose or how wide it is, whether it's her cheekbones, whether it's how her eyebrows hold, whether it's how her hair is. You picked at this girl features in so many ways on this show for so many episodes. And when you finally found out that Chad Ocho Cinco, whatever his name is, was opening and zipping and unzipping his pants and trying to show OG what he had to offer and give, that insulted your entire existence. I never knew you were Afro-Latino until you said it. And I think you had just found out or just read, some type of paperwork of your background, because these episodes I've never heard you say that you were partially black. So I don't believe that you're black. No, I don't believe you're black. No, Evelyn, I don't believe you're black. I believe that you're a Latino. Just because you dated a black man, married a black man, have kids with a black man, does not give you any type of pass. It does not give you any I'm more close to, or I'm like them, or I'm with them. No. That does not work that way. You have a serious hate for OG, Evelyn. And it's unbecoming. It's unfortunately disheartening. Because you're a pretty girl, pretty woman. You have so much potential. You have what it takes to be great. Anybody does. But you're on a platform that a lot of us aren't, obviously. I'm not on Basketball Wives. You are. So you're setting this example of what hatred looks like. Even if you're not racist, I don't believe you're racist. Colorists, we have some things to talk about, because the fact that, like I said, the fact that Christian came over and wanted to talk to you was great. But the fact that she kind of still didn't get it and don't jump in to check Evelyn as a friend. The fact that Malaysia don't check in and step in on Evelyn like, hey girl, I'm your friend, but I'm also going to keep it real with you. I'm black, okay? See my hands, see my neck, see my neck, see my ear? I'm black. Like, I'm black. For y'all to not mention or give any like story of what OG could be possibly leading to as a black woman and as an African black woman, y'all, you disappointed me this episode. Because like I said, my skin is not dark skinned, but I'm still black. So I do have very similar stories to OG being black. Do you get what I mean? So the fact that they kept trying to make it seem that what she was feeling and what she was believing was not what was going on. Okay, cool. But let's not make that just a point. The point is, it is a dark-skinned black woman that's from Africa feeling like isolated. She feels like you guys are putting her over here and making her feel like she's not worthy as you guys are. Do you not see how that can easily be taken? So then when I see these shows like Jen on Salt Lake City, and then she's going back and forth with the cast saying that y'all don't understand black people struggle, then I question Jen as well. I want to get to you on another video. Jen, you are not black. So I'm trying to figure out, why are you on this show using, and it's because, damn, I just answered my own question from my own talk of the Evelyn situation. Y'all date these black men, marry them, have kids with them, and that is a connection to say that you're black. That is a connection to say that you're Afro-Latino. That is a connection to say that you're biracial. How are you biracial? You dated a man and a black dick got in you. That doesn't make you biracial. That make your kids biracial. A black penis buzzing inside of you and entering in you do not make you black. It's just you're filled with cum and possibly a baby is going to come out of that. That does not make you black. Y'all got a lot of cleaning up to do. Y'all images are trashed. Y'all images are at this point trashed. Christian, Malaysia, y'all image, I feel like is tainted because of Evelyn. You're in the Evelyn shadow. You hanging around with Evelyn. I'm telling y'all right now, run for cover, run for cover, run for cover. Because she is in a very interesting spot on this show. And as much as she's probably the most paid, or as much as she's probably the most popular on this show, she's dealing with so much internally. I don't think that Evelyn is a racist, but I do think that Evelyn has these weird ways of how she sees black people. And that is going to have to be something that she needs to either dip in holy water and be baptized and be you know, reborn again, or you're just never gonna get it, because racism is taught. These jokes behind closed doors, these humorous conversations about us black people, and we sit around and let it go on. And we sit around and we be a part of it. That's not gonna make a change in our community. It starts with us, and it starts with having a conversation, and it starts with us opening our minds and not so much our mouths. We have to understand that this episode was deeper than I imagined. Like, I internalized it much deeper than what I watched. I'm disturbed. That's all I got. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts. I had a lot to say, but I'm probably all over the place with how this is edited, but I'm just very disappointed in these girls on this basketball wives show. I'm very disappointed. I can't understand how they don't understand what OG is speaking of. It is so frustrating to watch as a viewer, because I don't have to know any of their personalities. I don't have to know any of their backgrounds. All I need to know is the basics. And the basics is OG is telling y'all that she feels that y'all are showing her some type of hate, some type of like weird cut energy that's hurting her. It makes her feel away. I'm also very happy to know that OG's husband is behind her 100% and that's being so supportive, because I'm gonna tell you, mental illness is no joke. And being black in America, every day it is a struggle. Every day it is a fight. Every day it is a we shall overcome. Every day it is a I have to be better. Every day it is a I'm just trying to do the best I can to stand out and over exceed the expectation in the room and go above and beyond just to be seen, just to be noticed. So we have to go through this all the time. And the narrative keep being spun that when we speak out, we're angry. When we have a voice, we're saying too much, and that's not our part. When we speak out, we're told that's not our position. We've been suppressed for a long time in this country. And for a production to showcase this type of behavior, it says a lot. So that's all I have today. I'm sorry, this was not the most positive or the most upbeat video, but this video really made me feel away, and I don't want to get emotional about it because I am that person. But we gotta stop making our struggles for entertainment. We gotta stop doing that. I appreciate OG getting on national television and bringing to the viewer's attention that racism, that colorism does exist. But I want us to stop ruining who we are while they sit and laugh at us. Evelyn doesn't feel away. Evelyn doesn't feel sorry. Evelyn has no remorse. Evelyn doesn't get it. Evelyn doesn't want to get it. This is going to be an issue that's never going to be resolved between them two, because one person feels and see things a way the other one don't. I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna keep my eyes on this season and see how this progresses. But I have a strong feeling that it's just gonna get worse. I have a feeling it's gonna get worse. These girls are insane. Insane. Yeah, but I will say I was just very disappointed with Malaysia and Christian this season. I thought they would have not this season, this past episode. I thought they were really gonna come through. Jackie, you're in a very weird position because you keep being neutral, and I'm trying to figure out, is it because you want the girls to get along, or is it because you can't figure out which side to be on? That is something I'm watching. And this other lady on this show, I didn't even write her down in her notes. This new girl, I don't even think I wrote her name down. You are boring. You are really boring. Even if it is something that comes out that you get into it with someone, I honestly don't want to see it. You are boring. I mean, I was shocked they have cast you for this show. I don't know who you know, but yeah, I'm glad that you know them and that you got a check, because I wouldn't have gave you a check to be on this show. These girls are way too wild. They're way too... Yeah, it's just she doesn't gel with these girls. I mean, Evelyn is already over her. Evelyn said something like, girl, if you talk about your husband again. So it's like these girls are on a totally different level. And it may not be a higher level. It could just be a different level, period. But yeah, I'm not a fan of your storyline. I don't even know your name, and I didn't even write you in the notes. So that tells me a lot. But yeah, this episode was cool, but it was very sensitive for me. Yeah, this was very sensitive. This kind of stuff pull out my emotions because racism in this country do exist. It's hurtful. We've seen this through the pandemic. We've seen this with COVID. We've seen this with the news, what they chose to cover and what they didn't choose to cover with the Black Lives Matter. We got to stick together, pulling each other down, fighting each other, throwing each other under the bus. We need more unity. We need more closure to why we are doing the things we do. Why this person did this. We do need clarity, but we can't keep fighting. We sometimes have to give in and hold each other's hand and pray for another day. And even if you're not gonna ever be best friends, you have to support at this point. And I just feel that how Evelyn is just playing her anger towards OG is interesting to me. Evelyn, you lost all these deals, but if you're talking about that Tommy T deal, I hope you're not, though. I hope you're not. Because that deal... Never mind. Alright. So, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope you guys have a great Thursday. I will be doing more reviews. I have to review Salt Lake City, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and maybe some more that I've been watching. But yes, I hope you guys have a great Thursday night. Peace.